The Prophecies of Thales of Arcadia, the shocking truth he saw of our future. Dear brother, dear sister, peace be with you, but prepare for an uncomfortable truth, one that transcends our time and forces us to look at our own reality with new eyes. Welcome to the portal to the unknown. Today we're going to dive into the mists of history to unravel the secrets of Thales of Arcadia, a mystical sage whose long-lost visions seem to echo in our present in frighteningly precise ways. Imagine for a moment, amidst millennia-old sands and forgotten mountains, there existed a time when the future was not just a mystery, but a tapestry woven by extraordinary minds. Thales, with a clarity that defies logic, glimpsed our world, our technology, and our challenges. What did he see, and how does it connect to our world today? This message is not easy, but it is urgent. Listen carefully. Thales was not a king or a warrior, but a hermit who lived in an isolated cave, seeking wisdom in the stars and the whispers of the wind. It was said that he possessed a singular connection to the cosmos, allowing him to glimpse events that would unfold centuries after his own existence. His teachings were transmitted orally by disciples who sought him in pilgrimage, recording his words on fragile scrolls. Were his warnings and predictions heard and understood, or were they relegated to oblivion, only to resurface in a time where their truth would become frighteningly evident? The religious hypocrisy of the time, which preferred the idolatry of lesser gods, would not listen to a hermit who spoke of a future of technology and cosmic changes. If you are fascinated by the boundaries between the known and the unknown and seek to unravel mysteries that have shaped our history, this is the right place. Don't miss any of our upcoming videos about legends, prophecies, and ancient secrets. Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to embark with us on this journey to the heart of the enigma. Your exploration of the occult begins now. Thales' visions did not come in dreams, but in states of deep trance, induced by meditation and careful observation of the heavens. He described the prophecies as waves of time that crashed against the shore of his mind, revealing fragmented images of the future. Each fragment was an enigma, a piece of a cosmic puzzle he tried to decipher. How he interpreted them was as crucial as the vision itself. Thales' disciples diligently recorded his words on scrolls made of papyrus and leather, using vegetable and mineral inks. These documents, known as the Scrolls of Arcadia, were kept in sealed jars and hidden in secret locations. It was believed that many of them were lost over the centuries, but some fragments have resurfaced, challenging modern understanding and our linearity of time. What do these ancient texts reveal about our destiny? One of Thales' first great prophecies spoke of the shifting sands, describing a time when fertile lands would become arid and rivers would dry up. He foresaw great migrations of peoples in search of water and sustenance, and the rise of new geographical frontiers. His words seemed to warn of a drastic climatic change and its impacts on civilization. Could we be witnessing the fulfillment of this vision in our days, with the desertification of entire regions and the water crises that affect billions? Thales described cities that would be abandoned and entire populations that would move, seeking refuge in wetter lands. He spoke of wars for water and the struggle for survival in a world of scarcity. The image he painted was of humanity in constant motion, driven by necessity and the search for vital resources. This vision resonates with the water crises and migratory movements we see in our century. The prophecy of the shifting sands was not just about scarcity, but a fundamental transformation of the global landscape. He saw the emergence of new forests in unexpected places and the reappearance of ancient life forms adapted to new climates.
It was a vision of resilience and adaptation, but also of a world unrecognizable to those who lived before. Nature always finds a way, but at what cost to humanity?
Another intriguing prophecy was that of the Iron Serpent, a colossal creature that would tear through the earth and the heavens, spitting fire and smoke. Initially, many interpreted this as a mythical monster, but Thales' description was disturbingly precise. He spoke of giant vehicles moved by an invisible force that would transport people and goods at incredible speeds. Could they be trains, automobiles, or something even more imposing, like the machines of modern industry? Spiritual persecution, in Thales' view, could come from a technology that would enslave man. Thales also glimpsed the Iron Serpent conquering the heavens, transforming into wings of metal that would fly above the clouds. He described the deafening sound of their machines and the sight of cities shrinking beneath them. It was a premonition of modern aviation and how it would shorten distances, but also of its destructive potential in times of conflict. Flight has always been a human dream, but with it came new complexities and a new dimension of war. The Iron Serpent had a dark side. Thales saw the wings of metal being used for war, bringing destruction from above. He described explosions, smoke, and the suffering of the innocent. It was a disturbing vision of war technology and how human innovation, so full of promise, can be used for annihilation. The duality of technology, capable of connecting and destroying, was already evident in his visions. One of Thales' most melancholic prophecies was that of the silent cities. He foresaw vast metropolises where millions would live side by side, but isolated, communicating through shimmering mirrors. It was an image of loneliness in the midst of a crowd, where direct human connection would be replaced by virtual interactions. This vision seems to perfectly describe the digital age we live in, with the proliferation of smartphones and social media. Thales' shimmering mirrors were devices that allowed people to see and hear each other regardless of distance. However, he noted that despite the virtual proximity, an invisible barrier remained. Emotions were filtered, intentions obscured. This prophecy seems like a premonition of the rise of social media and online communication, with all its benefits and challenges. The prophecy of the silent cities culminated in a paradoxical, connected loneliness. Thales realized that although people could communicate at any time, physical contact and the depth of relationships would diminish. He warned about the loss of true intimacy in favor of superficial interactions, an echo of our own concern for mental health in the digital age. The modern idolatry of the virtual supersedes the reality of the physical, and Thales saw this trend materialize. Thales also predicted the veil of light, an invisible network that would cover the world, connecting every mind and every piece of information. He described a ceaseless flow of knowledge, accessible to all, but also overwhelming in its magnitude. This prophecy seems to be a clear vision of the internet and the information age we live in. Knowledge would become abundant, but its truth harder to discern. The veil of light promised to democratize knowledge, allowing anyone to learn about any subject with a touch of a finger. Thales saw infinite libraries and invisible masters available to everyone. It was a utopia of learning and empowerment, where ignorance would be a choice, not a condition. This vision celebrates the transformative power of accessible information. However, Thales also warned that the veil of light would bring a fog of misinformation, where truth would be obscured by a sea of lies and half-truths.
He foresaw the difficulty in distinguishing the real from the fabricated and the impact this would have on trust and society. This is a very real concern in our age of fake news and algorithms. One of Thales's most fantastic visions was that of the whispers of the stars. He predicted the day when humanity would no longer be content with Earth, but would turn its eyes to the cosmos. He spoke of ships that would sail the void and the discovery of other heavens and distant worlds. This prophecy echoes our efforts in space exploration and the search for extraterrestrial life. Thales saw humanity establishing points of light on other planets, expanding its presence beyond earthly limits. This vision is a testament to human ambition and our incessant quest for new horizons. Will we be the colonizers of the stars, as Thales predicted? The prophecy culminated with humanity not only traveling, but also listening to the whispers of the infinite. Thales suggested that we might find other life forms, or perhaps the very voice of the universe. He did not detail what would be found, but the vision was of a vast universe full of unexplored wonders. What else does the cosmos hold for us, and are we ready to find out? Beyond the specific prophecies, Thales also had a cyclical vision, that of the return to dust. He did not foresee an apocalyptic end, but a cycle of birth, growth, decline, and renewal. Cities would be forgotten, empires would fall, but life would always find a way to persist and reinvent itself. It was a vision of hope and continuity despite the inevitable changes. Thales urged us to learn from the past, to recognize the patterns, and to prepare for the future. He saw humanity as part of a larger cycle, subject to the same natural laws that govern the stars and the desert sands. Our actions today will shape the echoes that future generations will hear. The legacy of Thales of Arcadia is not just predictions, but a perennial wisdom about the nature of existence. His visions invite us to reflect on our own journey, on how we adapt to changes and how we use the knowledge we acquire. He reminds us that even in the face of the unknown, resilience and the ability to learn are our greatest tools. The prophecies of Thales of Arcadia, though shrouded in mystery and metaphor, offer a fascinating mirror to our own reality. From climate change and technology to how we connect and explore the cosmos, his visions seem to have anticipated humanity's challenges and triumphs. They force us to ask, are we listening to the ancient whispers of the future? Thales's visions leave us with much to reflect on. Which of the prophecies did you find most impressive? Do you believe we are witnessing the fulfillment of any of them? Leave your opinion in the comments below and share this video with someone else who is also interested in mysteries and prophecies. Your perspective is valuable to our community of explorers of the unknown. Until the next journey.